The night I found out about my wife's affair was a night something in me changed forever. Her name is Emily. We had been married for 9 years, built a home together, shared laughter, and planned futures. But one evening, when her phone lit up across the table, I saw a name appear that I didn't recognize, Mark. At first, I didn't think much of it. People have friends, co-workers, life outside of marriage. But the tone of the messages that followed, subtle, personal, and filled with undertones that no married person should send or receive, left no room for misunderstanding. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I took a breath, stepped back, and decided to collect myself. I wanted to face the situation with clarity, not chaos. A week later, I discovered something that made everything even stranger. Mark was married, too. His wife, Claire, was someone I vaguely knew from the community. Polite, quiet, kind-hearted. I didn't know how much she knew, or if she knew at all. So, after 2 days of thinking, I sent her a simple message. "Hi, Claire. This may be awkward, but I think we need to talk." She agreed to meet. When we sat down in a quiet cafe, her expression told me everything before she spoke a single word. She knew. Maybe not every detail, but enough. She had the same tired, betrayed look that I had been carrying for days. We talked for nearly 2 hours. There was no anger, no shouting, just quiet understanding. Two people trying to piece together a reality neither of us had asked for. By the end of that conversation, Claire and I had formed an unexpected alliance, not out of spite, but out of shared pain and dignity. Weeks later, an invitation arrived in the mail, a large community charity gala that both Mark and Emily were attending. Claire looked at me and said, "Why don't we go together?" At first, I thought she was joking, but the more I considered it, the more it made sense. Not to provoke or humiliate, but to walk into that room as people who had nothing to hide, nothing to be ashamed of, and everything to hold their heads high about. So we did. The night of the gala, Claire arrived in an elegant navy dress. Her composure calm but confident. I wore my best suit. We didn't plan to make a scene. We just planned to exist, to be seen, and to show that betrayal doesn't define who we are. As soon as we walked in, the atmosphere shifted. Emily froze across the room. Mark went pale. Conversations around them faltered for a second as they both tried to process what they were seeing, their spouses, together, calm, unbroken. I didn't say a word. Neither did Claire. We smiled, greeted mutual acquaintances, and carried ourselves with quiet grace. At one point, during dinner, Emily finally approached me. "What are you doing here with her?" she asked, her voice trembling. I looked at her and replied softly, "Just supporting the community, like everyone else." She stared at me, unsure how to respond. I could see confusion and guilt flash in her eyes. "I didn't come here to cause a scene," I added. "I just came to remind both of us what respect looks like." Then I turned back to Claire, who smiled faintly. That was all it took. Emily walked away, unable to handle the quiet dignity she had never expected from me. The rest of the night went smoothly. We laughed, we danced once, and people commented on how well we got along. It wasn't about pretending or playing games. It was about reclaiming our peace. When the event ended, Claire turned to me and said, "That was the first time in months I felt like myself again." I nodded. Me too. We didn't need revenge through anger or shouting. Our revenge was calm. Our revenge was showing strength where they expected pain. Over the following weeks, Emily tried to talk to me several times. She wanted to explain, to fix things, but I had already made my decision. There are some apologies that come too late, and some trust that can't be rebuilt once shattered. I filed for separation quietly. No arguments, no drama, just paperwork and closure. Claire did the same. And as strange as it may sound, through that painful chapter, I found peace and an unexpected friendship. Claire and I continue to talk, not out of bitterness, but mutual respect. We both learned the same lesson, that dignity is the strongest form of revenge, and silence can echo louder than shouting ever could. Months later, Emily saw me again, not at a party this time, but in passing. I was helping organize another community event. I smiled politely. She looked down, unable to meet my eyes. I realized then that I didn't need to prove anything. The best revenge was simple: moving on, living better, and never lowering yourself to the level of those who broke your trust. That night at the party wasn't about winning or losing. It was about reclaiming the power that betrayal tried to take away. And when you do that, you don't just walk away, you rise.